Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing today? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is $3 Theater, and today saw something really cool happen. If you happen to be a fan of the DCEU and everything involving Snyder and HBO Max and everything, and of course, I am also in some essence talking about the Grace Randolph interview with Zack Snyder, which is really good stuff, and I already gave my thoughts on it. You can go and check that out. But today we saw that release, the Ayer Cut, was trending. It's gotten over 82,000, if not more, tweets by this point in time. Unfortunately, I can't get you an exact number on that, as other things have taken over my feed. It's one of the problems of being politically minded. I get a lot of stuff on my feed. But it's cool that they got it trending. And this was a planned event. This was a big planned event meant to take place today, July 20th, right before Justice Con, in order to, again, give another push to HBO Max and Warner Media and all of those people involved, to let people know we want to see David Ayer's cut of Suicide Squad, not that weird trailer company version we saw in theaters. We want to see the non-pop song soundtrack version, although I do love that soundtrack. Something fierce, to be honest with you. I really do. I really enjoy it. So there's that. But I have some thoughts on it that I think are going to probably, like, I think I need to be the pragmatist in the room. So let me just kind of give you a pragmatic approach to release the Ayer Cut. Let me first start off by saying I 100% support it, but I also like to have modified expectations. And I think that a lot of people out there need to have modified expectations, because this is something right now that is, yes, a fan desired thing, part of a fan movement, but it's nothing set in stone just yet, at least not on a public setting. Some people have said certain things. I've heard, again, scoopers, like contracts are signed, they're doing the CG right now. We don't know any of this stuff just yet, guys, okay? So again, everything with a grain of salt, some stuff more than others. Know your source as well, and it's up to you to trust who you trust. But this is my pragmatic take on the situation. So I do think that we will get the Ayer Cut, but there are going to be some conditions of which it's going to be associated with. There's going to have to be some prerequisites met in order for this to happen. For one, got to make sure that Zack Snyder's Justice League is a success. That is the key. That is the absolute key. Now, granted, Grace Randolph's interview with Zack today, and I was talking about this last night on my live stream, but I didn't know about the interview. The interview that she put out has already gotten over 110,000 views in just a couple hours. Everyone's talking about it. A number of blog outlets are writing about it, just like they did with the Justice League announcement from back on May 20th, and people have been talking about it. And obviously, if you are a fan of the DCEU, if you're a fan of the Release the Snyder Cut movement, especially on Twitter and YouTube and other elements of social media, the Release the Ayer Cut was the next evolutionary thing on the list of demands that they had. So much so that it was even met with massive criticism from some of the naysayers, Andy Signor, that were coming out and trying to attack it back on May 20th, when it was like, hey, it's announced. Okay, cool. What about the Ayer Cut, right? So you have that. Now, AT&T, HBO Max, Warner Media, all those guys, they are fully aware of this thing. I guarantee you they were aware of it before they even made the announcement. But the AT&T social media did play up everything asking about it when they were responding with memes and jokes back with the fan base, allowing people to think that this is what was going to be coming next. And the truth of the matter is, if it's a success, if it's a hit, then yes, it will be coming next. But if it's not, and this is a thing I have to be the pragmatist on, and I have to ask people to modify their expectations, Zack Snyder's Justice League might just be a one-time thing. And I say that because of a couple different things. One, you're going to have to deal with a lot of the critical media, and the media was never big on Justice League or Zack Snyder, BVS, Man of Steel anyway. I mean, I think Man of Steel got better reviews than BVS did. But then again, BVS's theatrical was garbage compared to the unrated cut, or the Ultimate Edition. And the Ultimate Edition at this point is considered the de facto edition. So much so that HBO Max just on July 4th removed the theatrical version of BVS, which is what they had on HBO Max, and they replaced it with The Ultimate Edition. So we know that the Ultimate Edition absolutely is the de facto cut. And over the last 4 years, it has very much gotten to the point where people have grown to love it. There's been a lot more people that have come to it. And so I think as a result of all of the last 4 years of fans talking about it, kind of turning it into a bit of a cult thing, that there's going to be more people that are going to be interested in it. But we have to wait and see what happens with HBO Max. Now, right now, HBO Max is not, in my opinion, in the best of positions. In North America alone, they're not on Roku and Amazon. And that's not just here, that is worldwide. But right now, they've launched in North America, but they haven't launched everywhere worldwide yet. And not being on Roku or Amazon Fire Stick in North America excises about 80 million households from getting in on that, that service. That's that membership service. So that's a lot of money that they're missing out on because a lot of people aren't getting it. Now, over the course of the next few months, as they roll out into new territories, and I'm sure they're going to come to a deal with Roku and Amazon on this issue, then we're going to start seeing more and more people coming in to seeing what this service is about. And I do have it, and I do watch it on my PS4, but I don't watch it where I want to watch it. And that's frustrating to me as a consumer, to the point of where I'm asking myself, is it worth the money that I'm spending on it right now? And should I potentially cancel it until Justice League comes out next year? And see, the thing is, there's going to be a lot of people in the comment section that are like, no, you've got to support it. You've got to support HBO Max because that's how we're going to get the Snyder Cut. That's how we're paying for the Snyder Cut. You've got to give them your money to do it. And I completely agree with that. But when I talk about where we find ourselves in the popularity of HBO Max, as well as Snyder Cut as a whole, it's not well known outside of a couple circles of people. And that is true. That is very true. You can talk to a number of people out there, normies, and ask them, what do you think of the Snyder Cut? And they're going to be like, I don't know what you're talking about. And it's not to say that it's their fault for not knowing about it. It's just there's a lot going on and they may not know about it. They might have heard something about it. They might have heard one thing here or one thing there. But when the vast majority of the entertainment media bashes on Zack Snyder, bashes on the Snyder Cut, and has spent years creating this negative narrative that, yes, they all had to eat crow on, which was amazing and wonderful, that still went out to a number of people that might have been influenced by that. So they may not care about that. And so that is something that a lot of these Snyder Cut people are going to have to realize. It is a reality that's going to have to be drilled into their head. But that's not the end of the world. The Ayer Cut can happen provided that normies get HBO Max and really like Justice League. Now, if Justice League does well, and I think that it will do well, and I think that it will be good, I have to also make that claim that we don't know if it's going to be good. And I got into this last night with some people and I made that comment and they were like, well, no, yeah, we do know it's going to be good. I'm all like, no, you think you know it's going to be good. You don't know that. So it's always good to have modified expectations going into it. Now, look, people who are diehard Snyder fans like myself, are we going to go into Justice League and be like, hell yeah, hell yeah. I guarantee you I will probably find more to like about it than not like about it. But you still have to have that modified expectation going in. And if it is not good, if it does not blow up social media like The Mandalorian did with Baby Yoda and dominate the conversation for weeks, which it absolutely positively has to in order for it to be deemed a success, which is why episodically it has to be released. I'm sorry, that is like, at this point, it has to be done that way. It can't just be all episodes done at once that will come out and it will die and it will kill whatever's going to be coming next, which could potentially include the Ayer Cut. It's going to have a lot of those conversations. It's going to have to dominate conversations, dominate social media trends. And if you spend time on YouTube and you spend time on Twitter with a lot of the Snyder Cut people, you might be saying, but Matt, you're wrong. You're totally wrong. This is there. People are talking about it all the time. In those circles, they're talking about it all the time. And there's a number of YouTubers that I like and I respect greatly. And I find their content to be fun and I always enjoy it. But the conversations with those guys always keeps going back to the same thing. And it's like, okay, let's talk about something different. Let's hope something different is on the horizon so the conversation can move forward. And that's what I'm talking about. You can love it. You can talk about it all the time. But if only you're talking about it with a small group of people and it's not going out to more, that's going to be an issue. So really what it boils down to here is trying to get people you don't know or people you know that aren't really interested in this stuff, get them on Man of Steel and BVS Ultimate Edition now. Ask your friends, ask your family, did you like Justice League 2017. They might go, I never saw it. Go, good, never do. Anyone ever asks you, you beat them with a rubber hose and you tell them to get off your front porch. You do that. You get them to watch Man of Steel. You get them to watch BVS. You explain to them the history. You have to basically come at this like you are a comic book movie nerd expert. And you have to come in and you have to pitch it. And you have to show your passion and everything else and get them to check it out. It's kind of like what happened back in 2012, 2013 with Dread Day. Dread Day happens every September. I forget the exact day right now. It hasn't been done in a while, but it was happening for a bit. Where in order for fans to push for a Dread 2, every September, they would have Dread Day. And Dread Day would be go out and buy a copy of Judge Dredd 2012, not the 1996 version, and give it to someone who hasn't seen it and get them to watch it. And as a result of that, more people grew to know and love Dredd, and they were hoping that that would cause enough of a demand to get a sequel made. This is the same kind of thing you have to do right now. You can buy Man of Steel, I think, on Blu-ray for $7.50. You can get BVS Ultimate for pretty cheap. Hell, if you've got HBO Max, invite your friends over for a BVS watch party, or do a watch party one night of showing both movies. Bring a bunch of snacks, get a bunch of people over, make sure they're not immunocompromised, make them all wear masks if necessary, but bring them in and make them watch it. And then talk them up, pimp them on it, and then hopefully that will help spread it, because that is where this has to go. If you want to see the Ayer Cut, a social media blast on Twitter, it's happened multiple times. It's not going to have the same impact. This is really not. What really got the Snyder Cut, if you listen to what they said, and I mean like the HBO, the Warner Media guys, they knew about it when they took over Warner Brothers, but it was the letters that were put in. It was the personal connection to them. It was the personal reach outs. It wasn't just tweets or anything else like this. It was a lot of the letter writing campaigns that caused it to work. Go back and find that interview. I forget the dude's name right now, but he talks about that. So you need things like that. It's got to be a letter writing campaign. It's got to be get your friends to watch Man of Steel BVS and get them excited for Justice League. This is what has to happen. If that doesn't happen and Justice League flops, then the Ayer Cut's not going to come out. And the reason why, to bring it all back around, is because it's not going to be worth the money and the financial investment to do so. And I'm just being pragmatic and also hopeful. I want to make that abundantly clear. So I look forward to your thoughts. I look forward to your opinions on this. They should be super interesting. And I'll probably be doing a live stream later on tonight so we can talk more about it then. Anyway, guys, I'll talk to you all later. Have yourself a great day. Thank you again for watching, and peace out.